So I'd just like to talk really quickly today about Stratocaster wiring and why it's so important. So I think what's going on down here is equally as important as what's going on here. Like, you could spend $300 on super high quality pickups, but in my opinion you could have spent $20 or $30 on potentiometers and capacitors and rewiring the way it all functions down here, and you would see an equal amount of change in your guitar and its versatility and how well it functions for your needs. And I just think it's so ineffably important, and a lot of people just completely overlook this stuff. So in 1954, Leo Fender designed the Stratocaster with 3 single coil pickups, a master volume, what was then a 3-way switch but now a 5-way, and 2 tone controls. 2 tone controls is a little strange with 3 pickups. You'd either expect 3 tone controls or 1 master tone control, but we have 2. And a lot of people will do that. They'll assign one of the controls as a master tone control and the other's just a dummy. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's more flexible to utilize both for different pickups, for maximum versatility. So Leo utilized both, but he utilized both the wrong way. He put the neck pickup on the first tone control and the middle on the second, and he left the bridge pickup off of any tone control. This is insanity to me, because your bridge position is always going to be your brightest position on any guitar. And we're already working with super bright pickups, Strat single coils. So not even affording you the ability to control that treble content with a tone control is crazy. I understand Leo was a fan of country western and he wanted, a spanky bridge sound to slam the amp with as much treble as possible, and the limitations of, the little bedroom amps of the day. But even 10 years later, he had the black panel amps, and they could produce all the treble frequencies they needed to, and it still took Fender till the 2000s at least to finally start getting this wired correctly, or fixing that problem rather. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's crucial to have your bridge pickup on a tone control. So what a lot of players will do, and this is usually called the Eric Johnson wiring, is they'll just move the lead that's coming off the second tone control and they'll place it on the bridge lug of the switch here, so it's connected to the bridge pickup. And this is acceptable, and I permit this. And it does fix the problem on the bridge pickup, but it does move the problem to the middle pickup. So instead of having the bridge pickup off the tone control, you have the middle off of the tone control. And this is okay because we don't use that as much as a lead pickup. I love the middle pickup, so I know a lot of players will just skip it entirely, but I love the middle pickup. I like the consistency of having all pickups connected to a tone control. So it's better, in my opinion, to have the middle pickup on one of the knobs. In the 2000s, I think, in fact this guitar is 2007, and it came wired with the second tone control connected to the bridge and the middle together. And this is actually one of the worst ways to wire it, in my opinion, because if you actually want to utilize your tone control on your bridge pickup to knock back some of the harsh treble, you're also knocking back the treble on the middle pickup. And what ends up happening is you get a nice warm sound on your bridge pickup, and then you go to your in-between positions, and all that brilliant, beautiful Strat quack is gone, because you don't have the treble coming off the middle pickup anymore. That's especially important in your 4th position when you have your neck and middle on. You need that quack, I love that quack. Otherwise, what are you using the 2nd and 4th positions for? So it's a far better solution, in my opinion, to just have a tone for the bridge for the 2nd tone alone, and then instead wire a jumper from the neck lug to the middle lug on the switch, putting the neck and middle both on the 1st tone. and then of course the bridge gets its own tone by itself. This allows you to get a nice chunky sound on the bridge. And leave your neck and middle up on full. Nice and clear and bell-like and quacky. It's the ultimate in flexibility, and it's even quacky in the second position. Even with the bridge tone down. Of course, it's quackier if you have the bridge up. But it's totally usable even with the bridge tone down. So that's why this is the maximum versatility, this wiring scheme. Neck and middle to first tone, bridge to second tone. Even if you never use your tone controls, let's say you always use the guitar with the tone controls wide open. You don't care about the tone controls, you don't want to make it darker, you just set it and forget it. This is still a better wiring scheme than having the middle and the bridge connected to the same tone control. Reason being that in your in-between positions, you're going to see two potentiometers on one of those positions. With the middle and the bridge connected together, if you go to the neck and the middle position, the fourth position, our lovely, quacky John Mayer position that a Strat is famous for, you would then have the signal running through both the first and second tone controls. And when you have a signal going through two potentiometers, that deadens the signal more than having it going through one. So we can't afford to lose that treble in this inherently darker position. But we can in this position. My wiring does have two potentiometers, the signal going through two potentiometers in the second position. But we can afford that in this inherently brighter position, not in this inherently darker one. So even if you never use your tone controls, my wiring is still a superior wiring, at least for consistency from an EQ standpoint. So yeah, that's why this stuff is so important. This will revolutionize your guitar at least as much as new pickups will, for a fraction of the cost.